What you think? What you think?
That was amazing.
That's
That
what I got for my birthday.
whoever made that for you, have them reach out to me. I'll pay them.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch. I got like five, six of them, like on my website, some intros, I was like, what? I was a little bit, the sister had a little couple tears in her eyes. I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
we're
I
doing an
never really
intro
thought about
challenge. Like we're doing an intro challenge, looking for somebody to make us an intro, but
I will.
we don't have your people. Your people are nice for real.
Somebody actually put a lot of effort into that. I was like, this is dope. I was so blown away. So welcome to Say It Loud. We with Tahoe TV.
Yeah, what's popping? What's happening? What's happening?
Um, I don't know.
Brooklyn.
I don't know if everybody knows who you are, but I've been following you for a minute. Not like stalkerish, but a little bit stalkerish.
Oh,
Because I don't know how I found you. I just came across you on Instagram and then I started following and then I was like, damn, this dude like got mad followers. Like, how did you get to be like Tahoe TV? How did that happen?
oh man, it's that started just tweeting away, and then I guess when Snapchat came out, oh, I went on Snapchat and I started watching DJ Khaled. And DJ Khaled, like, because I'm old, I'm 45 years old. I don't understand this new age tech, right?
Yeah.
So I get on there, I see DJ Khaled, and he was just being himself. I took a page from that. I just started talking, and I didn't think that I was going to be anything.
How long ago was that?
Huh?
How long ago was that?
Wow, maybe 4 years, maybe 5. This
All
is
right.
before Snapchat. This is before Instagram had Insta stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, before they took Snapchat's format.
Yeah.
Right. So
can't match Snapchat filters though, but okay.
Yeah, they don't, right. But yeah, I just started talking to myself, and I just thought I was just be doing what everybody else was doing. But people kind of took to the way my facial expressions and my perspectives, and it literally just snowballed into something I had no idea what it was. It just happened.
Wow.
Started a podcast after that with my perspectives, and now I got 2. And it's been a great journey.
Yeah. So tell us about your 2 podcasts.
So Shameless Podcast is basically a relationship, urban culture podcast. We talk about politics. We talk about relationships. And I'm on there with a beautiful Black woman, Miss Daja Bell, and she's like 7,000 times smarter than me. I'm on there with my homeboy DJ Trauma, who is very cultured and very centered in his manhood and his Blackness. And then there's me, who is slightly ignorant, slightly out there, you know what I mean? So we challenge my thought processes and thought processes in the Black community. And we do a lot of work on on ourselves and the way we think and the way our culture thinks and society, the way we treat women, the LGBT community and Black people, Black men. And, we do a lot of work with that. And there's a lot of clarity that comes from that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then through that, I met my friend Orlando, who wound up starting his own OnlyFans page.
Mm-hmm. He got an OnlyFans page?
Well, it's progressed. It's progressed. Yeah, he was on there jerking off for people.
Wow.
And I used to make fun of him. I was making fun of him, right? But then I looked at it and I was like, yo, he's passionate. And I like passion. I fuck with passion. I can use passion, right? And I said to him, yo, let's start a podcast for men around sex. Like, let's see, because men don't talk about sex. We don't talk about sex with each other. We don't talk about things we like, things we don't like. We don't talk about women with things they like, don't like. Most times when men talk about sex, it's all about our conquests. Right. It's never about our failures and the things that we don't do right, right? We always hide that.
Talk about it today, though.
I'm here for it. And it has taken off. It's become really good.
Yeah,
so we've been starting to appreciate. I'm sorry, what?
I said I was watching some of the clips.
Yeah, women tend to appreciate the male perspective on sex and more, especially if you're open, because especially 2 heterosexual men talking to each other about sex, that doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't happen. And I think, and I've said this in my show a million times, women rather take advice about relationships from men versus another woman. I fight about that all the time. I'm like, y'all won't listen to me, but then the men then a man said something like, see, that's what I said, I'm gonna go write it down. Look, I told y'all the same shit, but y'all ain't listen to me because it came from me. But when it comes from a man, it's like, oh, that guy, I'm gonna listen to him because he knows what he's saying because he's a man.
Yeah, right. And the fact is that men are logical idiots. And another thing is that when women take advice from men, that's kind of because who is he taking advice from? Who is he talking about right and wrong and shit like that? Like he's just talking to a bunch of other logical idiots. So is it really making sense, or is it just making sense to y'all? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like to some women too, I feel like they only hear what they want to hear from that advice. I be going hard on the ladies because it's like he said I don't want a relationship, but he here every day, so I think he want a relationship. Like, bro, no, he don't. He said he don't. He know what he said.
Now,
so
I literally asked my girl the other day because she was hanging around for a good. Oh well, she was only hanging around for about 6 months before she started pressing the issue. But I was like, yo, I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. I want a relationship. And I asked her the other day, I was like, what made you stick around? She was like, I didn't hear nothing you said.
Yeah, no, she heard you. Like scientifically, she heard you. She ain't listen.
Nothing. None of that. She was like, she knew she had that nigga. She was just waiting for the time for me to stop fucking with
yeah. And sometimes women don't understand that. They just be like, well, he said he didn't say he didn't want it, so I'm gonna just assume that he does. And other times I gotta be like, well, if somebody, I think the opposite about men. That's why my show be so hard on women, because I feel like if a man say he not hungry, he probably not hungry. And women will be like, I'm gonna try to feed him anyway. you know what I mean?
Be mad that he didn't eat. You didn't like the food? What's wrong with it?
I wasn't hungry. And a woman would be like, so what you want? And I just don't understand that. And then be like, well, I don't understand why this relationship doesn't work. I don't understand why he don't want to get married. Like, bro, he told you.
I was watching a comedy special. It was just a clip. Somebody sent it to me, and it was a guy. He was like, I'm gonna do a exhibition of what goes on in the woman's head and what goes on in the man's head. And in a woman's head, it was like ping, 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 ping. Like just so many different thoughts, questions, all the time. Women always thinking everything you do, they examining this and the other. Men, it was like ping, ping, like literally.
It's true. It sounds so harsh. It sounds really harsh, but it's the truth. It's just like, he didn't call me today. I wonder what happened. Why he didn't call me? He didn't. And the dude is just like, I didn't call my mom. I didn't call nobody today. I was just chilling, And I think sometimes there's a disconnect to the point where it's just like, yo, it's so far fetched. But if you listen to each other, it wouldn't be that hard.
And then there's a certain amount of effort that takes. You can't just. You have to want to understand the other person. You actually that takes effort. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all aren't combined at the hip. Y'all don't share the same thoughts. Y'all don't share the same history. You are some of everything you've ever been through. So for you to totally mold with somebody else and really be able to, have the life dance with them.
Yeah.
You gotta want to understand them. Sometimes you gotta put your shit to the side and look into them and say, okay, what is their drive? What is the things that motivates them? You know what I mean? What do they care about? And then you gotta want to know, do you really want to become one with that? Because you're gonna have to put some of your shit to the back.
Well, that's what I was gonna say next. A lot of people want a relationship, but they haven't done the work on themselves. I think that's even more important before you bring your shit to somebody else. That you kind of sat back and reflected, because it's like, do I really want to do the dance with somebody else? But what am I bringing to this dance? Am I bringing my past traumas? Am I bringing the baby daddies? Am I bringing the ignorance? Am I bringing the selfishness? Because if you bringing all that shit, it don't matter who that other person is. You bringing your shit and you throwing it at them and you asking them to juggle your shit. And I think we get to a certain age where when you 20 and you 25 and that's the situation, it's like, all right, understandable. Your prefrontal cortex just developed. Y'all just now growing up. You got to figure it out. But when you my age, I'm 42 years old. I'm not trying to juggle nobody's shit. I'm not, don't come over here throwing shit over here. It's a nice 52 degrees over here. It's warm and sunny. Don't bring your, so if you know that, and I think that's the work that people need to do on themselves before, when you grown, when you already have kids, you've been through some shit, you need to know who the fuck you are by the time you reach a certain age, and then not be throwing that shit on somebody else.
And that's funny because this week's episode of So Shameless, I almost cried on it.
Really?
Yeah, because I realized I still got work to do on myself. And the work that I haven't done is affecting the people around me. It's affecting my kids, it's affecting my relationship, affects my mom. So therapy is necessary. And I've been so scared of it. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I've been so
Why?
scared because men are taught not to release their feelings.
I know, but when I got divorced, I went to therapy, and the first time I
Women
went
do
there,
that. Women talk. Women.
I didn't want to go either because I'm like, nah, I'm from the Bronx. I don't need to go out there like fuck that nigga. You know what I mean? That was me. Like I'll smoke some Hennessy. I'll meet a new nigga. Like it's okay. And I ended up having to go to therapy because I was like raising these kids, and part of my identity. I was married, so I was like, part of my identity is fucked up. You know what I mean? Who I am is fucked up, and I need to figure that. And I remember sitting there the first time, I was like, why am I here? But I ended up keep going back because I was like, I need to do the work to grow. And I honestly don't think my work to grow came from there, but it allowed me to see myself outside of myself, if that makes sense.
It's very important to be able to have those introspective looks on how you move and what motivates you and your feelings, because it all comes from somewhere. Unfortunately, men, when we're young, we're told to suck it up. When we're young, we're told we're not supposed to do that. That's girl shit, and we practice that throughout life.
Yeah.
So now when we get to be an adult and we're trying to cultivate meaningful relationships, we're still doing that.
It's so funny. I just posted that today on my Instagram because it's a picture of a mom with a belt, and she's telling a little brown boy, don't cry. Like that's weak, or I'm gonna give you something to cry about. And then there's a picture underneath of a grown man, and he's with a woman, and she's like, well, how come you never express yourself?
Exactly.
And the first thing I thought about was my son. That was the first thing I saw. I know I don't have a man in my life. I'm single, but I thought about my son because I was like, I don't want to raise my son thinking that he's not allowed to have feelings, that he's not allowed to cry or be upset or be hurt or take time or be vulnerable. But that's what we teach. That's almost like society telling men what they're supposed to be. And then we have women, and then I go in on the ladies again, and I love y'all, but we have women that are constantly like, you supposed to do this, you supposed to be like that, you supposed to. So then you just getting it from every place. Like you can't have any weakness. And that's a fucked up place to be, that you got to come home and you can't be weak in your home. You got to be strong outside, and outside rough right now. Outside real rough right now.
Well, outside is rough for all, but it's even worse for Black people, Black women, Black men, Black children. It's a lot worse for us. So the stigma society puts on us specifically are a lot harsher, and it affects our community and our family structures. And we need to get that back. We need our family structures, man, in order to change our communities. So we all have to do that work on ourselves. So it's only half the work. I told my girl the other day that no matter how powerful I may be, I can only at my best be 50% of this relationship.
Right. As any of us.
I can only be 50%. But if I'm not if I'm not moving at my best, then I'm not even feeling that. Right. I'm only 27 or 26 or 25 or 24. And now even if she's at 50, the best that we can do if I'm at 24 is 74%.
Right. So we're still not at 100%.
We still can't move right. So we all got to do our best to be able to put our best version of ourselves out in order to cultivate meaningful relationships. So therapy is a must. Therapy is a must. So.
Do you think that has anything to do with our past histories and like what we learned from relationships from the past? And I'm speaking about that because I'm thinking about my parents. Like my parents been married for 40 something years, and I think that life was different back then. But I also think sometimes looking at it and poking holes is that we just had a different mindset, and so the work still needed to be done. It just looked different. You know what I mean? The commitments look different to the work. It doesn't mean that there was no work to be done. And it's not
Yeah,
because I don't love them. It's just like, you
yeah,
know, like here's the society norm. And like, yeah, you did this, but inside of it, did y'all really like put that best foot forward, that best work? And I think about that because I think a lot of people like, oh, well, we're still married. And it's like, okay, yeah, but are you
right,
still at your best? Are you
yeah.
still being considerate and loving and passionate and putting all of the parts together that you need to put together in life with somebody?
Our parents, generations, kind of what's going on in society and around you. You are a product of your environment, right? That's what they
Right.
say. So your parents were a product of what was going on in their time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Either way, no matter who it is, just to make it simple, I think kids need therapy. I think, like, I remember watching The Sopranos. I was saying this on the show the other day. Even Tony Soprano was scared to go to therapy,
Right.
terrified, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
Nobody could find out about it, or he thought he'd be whacked
Right.
for coming off weak, right? So it's
Right.
like every single one of us, no matter what genre we are, no matter white, black, Latino, Asian, we go through things in our mind from young to adult that become a part of you
Right.
that affect you. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody needs it. Now, it's funny that I'm actually this big advocate for it because I haven't gone. I'm so terrified,
But
right?
you know, the only thing you're gonna do there is like reflect on yourself. Nothing, I know, but like it's nothing. I understand. I've been there, but it's not punitive. It's not someplace you go where you get in trouble. It's not a place you go where somebody's gonna say you can or cannot. It's really almost like it's like talking to yourself. The same shit you do in your car is the same shit you're gonna do at therapy. Only a lady gonna be sitting there. I felt a little judged, but you know, once you get
Nah,
past that,
it's a
you
lot
know,
deeper.
you
What
know,
I got tucked away, what I got tucked away is a lot deeper than
but
me
that's
talking
what it
about.
is. You start chipping away at the things that you need to
Yeah,
work at and work on. And I think that's what people are afraid of. I think people are afraid of kind of like looking at their whole self. Like if I just keep moving, then I don't have to stop and deal with it, or I don't have to stop and look at it. And once
yeah,
you sit down in there and you start scratching at the surface, because I know a lot of people that went to therapy and after 2-3 sessions, they're like, I don't want to go back. But it's like the deeper they dug, the
it's
less they
scary.
wanted to go back.
It's
It's
scary.
okay if I sit and I have a conversation with you like this and I don't know you. But once that person start asking those questions, that trigger point things start coming up, then it's
Yeah.
like, nah, I wasn't comfortable. But that's where the work is, where you're uncomfortable.
Well, I think that I think making the phone call for me was probably the worst part of it for me. I know what I'm going there for. I'm ready to start that journey.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But I
but
think
it
that
was,
takes a brave person to do that. It takes a
man,
very brave person, not for someone else to tell you you need to do it, but for you to be like, I know I need to do this. This is what I need. And I'm going to make the effort to do that for myself. I think that takes a very, very fucking brave person to do.
yeah, I mean, well, we'll see. Because I might stand outside. I'm,
You're not, because I'm gonna drop you off if I got to. I'll be waiting outside. Go. I'm gonna be like your mom. Go inside. I'm gonna be
man,
waiting here with your McDonald's when you come out.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Because
We'll
sometimes
see.
sometimes we need that though. Sometimes
We'll
we do
see.
need to be like, you know what, you might need somebody there the first couple of times to just be like, you know, it's okay to be vulnerable. I think it's the vulnerability.
Can you go sit in the therapy chair for me?
No, no,
Yeah.
I've been there. I used to get in my car and I used to be like, every time I leave here, I'm sad. Why I keep coming back? Every time I left there, I had the, you know, the little tear marks that done dried up on your face. You know, oh, you muted. Yeah,
Yeah, I
every time
know.
I left there, and I didn't like that, but I kept going because I was like, well, I don't have nothing to lose, and
Yeah,
you know, it for me, I had to also look at it like, I'm not here to prove something to somebody else. I'm here because it's what I need for myself. And so I didn't really, after a while, I was like, I don't care who the therapist is. I just know who I need to be in this space, and I need to do the work. And it was a hard experience, but probably one of the better things that have happened to me in my life.
well, I'll let you know what happens with me. So I haven't done it
You'll
yet,
be
but I'm pretty sure
fine.
it's gonna be life changing. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
you'll be fine. You'll come out the other end victorious. You'll be good. Yeah, I'm not worried about you. So let's get into some fuckery
Yeah.
quick. let's get into some fuckery. So I saw you made a post about sucking dick.
Let's clarify.
You sucking dick, just like, you know, like women.
I'm like, I made that post.
You know, like women sucking dick and like being too hard on the balls. So I feel like since women never listen to me because I'm a woman and they're like, how the fuck do you know, Karen? You don't have balls. But I do because I have a dick. It's big dick energy. You can't see it, but it's like crystals and shit. You know what I mean? It's rocks, it's all that shit. But fuck y'all anyway.
You got a unicorn horn down there, don't you?
Yeah, you know, tell them because they don't understand. So I feel like you should give some tips really quick.
Give tips on sucking dick. Okay.
Women, I feel like women, every woman you meet tells a man like, I know what to do. And I know that there's been men in my life who I've had discussions with because I usually hang out with dudes and then mostly my friends who be like, yo, this bitch didn't know how to suck dick. And I feel bad for women that are in that situation because she probably trying really hard and she can't breathe. And, you know, it could be a hurt to a woman's ego, you know, because here she is thinking like, I'm going to do this. And she might not be as good at it as he had hoped. And it's kind of like fucked up for her. It's fucked up for him, but he'll be all right, but it's fucked up for her too.
I mean, my first thing, and we always talk about this, the whole mantra of the show, right, is communication.
Right.
I think that my lady learned how to suck my shit because when she first started, I guess she wanted me to know that she was good at knobbing the nigga shit. So she would what. But me personally, I don't really like fast head. Right? Everybody's different. And then the situation calls for different shit. Every situation calls for different shit. And also, I'm not really the best at giving head. Like I think I'm getting much better, but it's only because of communication and listening, right? So if I was a lady and I was trying to learn somebody, I would definitely start slow and ask him if he likes it. You like that? Go a little fast. You want me to go faster? Right? He'll tell you want me to go faster. He might say, stay slow. Make sure eye contact is so important. For me, while I'm having sex, I literally be watching a lady's body and watch how she responds to certain shit. Is she tense? Is she loose? Is her hands gripping the bed? Like, is she, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you do that. I don't know if all men do that. I don't know if they all do that. I think that, and that was going to be my next question. How do you communicate to your partner that something is not right, or he's not hitting it, she's not doing it right? And that was going to be my next question as far as communication, because sometimes it's hard to open up that line of communication, you know, because you don't want to hurt that person's feelings. You don't want to be like, yo, my dude, you know what I mean? Or, you know, back in my day when I was younger, I was like, let me rip out this article. And like, maybe this is when I was 20. I didn't know. Now I'm 40. I'm like, bro, like we grown. But, you know, let me take this article out of Essence magazine and like, yo, you need to read this. You know, like I've been there. So how do you open up those lines of communication? Because I think that's the biggest thing. Like not everybody's love language is the same.
Right. So
how do you have that conversation without making somebody feel less empowered?
I think the easiest way
is a text message.
The first thing personally is being able to have those type of difficult conversations, period. So this thing is deeper than just sex. This is deeper than just head. This is deeper than just any of that. It's, can you really communicate with this person,
right,
about things that are difficult or right? Some right. Men especially are shut off from any type of criticism, especially sexual.
Especially any criticism, but especially sexually.
Especially sexually. So women learn not to push those buttons with men, but in that they also learn to not be satisfied, to learn to be comfortable not being satisfied. Like they will go the whole time not coming. They will go the whole time. Right. So for me, I would think that the number one thing that you need to do is, are you with somebody that you can actually talk to? Why would you want to be with somebody that you can't? That's my problem.
But people do it all the time.
And so that's something that leaves a voice inside of you unheard.
Right.
And no matter what it's about, that's not a good thing because that voice is yelling at your spirit. You're not happy. You're not serving me. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not listening to me. And we talk about me and why are you sucking his dick for 3 hours and he's not doing it? Why are you doing it? That voice inside is fucking yelling at you. Why are you allowing this, this, but you're not paying attention to me? You're not serving me. So you really, one thing I think me and my lady just backed out a drawer full of dildos. One day, I don't know what the hell I was looking for. What was
I'll
I
send
looking
you
for?
one.
Condoms? I was looking for condoms.
Tell her, ask her which one she like. I'll send her some. I send her one. I got a whole bunch here.
She wants to know what type of dildo you like.
No, seriously, I got a whole bunch.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if she knows how to answer that question.
Okay, I'm just gonna get your address at the end of the show. I'll send her one. I got a whole bunch. They gotta get out of here. I don't need them. They're taking up room.
Do we need more dildos?
Yes, you do.
Do you have one that can choke and whisper in the air and spank and all of that so I can get a nap in this motherfucker?
No, I can't. I don't have that. We can order one off Wish. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but
yeah, maybe. Right. Will it be black with a fade? But yeah,
but we'll see.
I think talking about your fantasies, that's a good way to start talking about sex, baby girl. That's a good way to talk about sex when you talk about your fantasies. Because a person can kind of get a gauge on where your mind is and where your creativity it is, and where they might be interested in. Yo, honestly, are you a fan of trying something new with everybody new that you date?
No.
Why?
I can say that right away. I have to. Well, I'm a whole unicorn, so I have to really be like in sync with you and comfortable enough with you where I could let my guard down, where I will be willing to try new things that like push past. Because I don't just automatically like that whole like one night stand thing, just immediate attraction. That shit don't work for me. Like, I've never been that type of woman like that. I've never had a one night stand in my life. I don't think I'm ever going to do it. Because I just not like I just don't be trusting people. I'm just not comfortable enough to let myself have that experience with a complete stranger. Like I won't ever.
If you're talking to a complete stranger about your wants, needs, when y'all getting to learn each other, right? Y'all getting to know each other.
Talk about it, but
why is sex off the table?
It would have to build to that for me to be comfortable enough to be like, okay.
I would suggest that every single person that's dating somebody new, tell them a new fantasy that they would like to try.
I think that's homework for everybody to
really do.
Assess yourself by yourself before you even tell someone what are your fantasies.
Yeah.
Just being able to have that conversation with yourself. Because if you ask me that right now, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah. And why wouldn't that person want to know that? I want to know that. I want to be the champion of this pussy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if there's something I can help you do, tell me. You know what I mean?
If we're even in sync to be thinking along the same lines, like, bet that's something you want to do. I wouldn't mind doing that. Okay. Right, so just being able to have those kinds of conversations. So when do you have those conversations? Do you think that that's something that happens when you're just meeting someone, or it needs to happen later on?
I think that those conversations initially, first of all, what is your reason for being here? Is the first question.
That's a fair question.
What do you want? What do you want from me? Do you want just friendship? Are we looking for commitment? What are you looking for? And I personally think that's a good question to ask. My friend, I was on her podcast this week. She said no, because people like to lie so much that nobody wants the honesty. Nobody. If a man says I'm just looking for friendship, a woman's going to be like, like.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think it depends on the person. I don't think it depends on. I think there are women that are just looking for friendship. I mean,
well, when friendship, we talk about fucking, right?
Yeah, but still, like, I could tell somebody right now. I could tell you right now, I'm not looking like. I like being single. I like having friends and I like having sex. I just don't want to. I don't want anyone. Like sometimes I'm fine by myself. I just don't want no one to be like here every day. Like I don't need that in my life.
Do women normally tell men that? Like I don't think I've ever had a woman tell me that.
No, they don't say that, but they'll say that to me. Like I'm okay with I live with my son. I'm okay living with my son. I have a good job. I have money. I have a nice car. I just want someone to hang out with, take me to dinner. We could chill a little bit, go on vacation, shit like that. And then I'm going home, bro. Like, I'm not washing nobody's dirty socks.
Yo, like you said, you're an anomaly because
I'm not washing dirty socks. I'm not, you can't borrow my car. Like, we're not doing that.
most women, in my experience, go along with whatever the man's trying to do. And even if they don't want that, they kind of just
Fuck that
ride
shit.
it
Yo, I'm
out.
not doing that. You gonna go along with what I want to do. You're gonna come pick me up. We're gonna go to dinner. We're gonna come here. We're gonna have sex. And I gotta pick my son up. So I'm gonna see you later. I'll call you when I call
And
you.
men don't like that. And so now women learn not to do that.
Men don't like that.
Men don't like to be feeling like meat for some reason. Even if that's all they want to be the conquest.
It's like, I like you and you're my friend, but you don't need to be like,
Men want to be able to want
I
to
gotta get up in
define
the
that.
morning. I gotta go to work. I gotta drop my son off. I gotta take care of my grand. Like, I don't think every woman needs to have, like, and women need to understand this too. Like, every man that's in your life don't need to be a whole full-blown relationship. Like, I'm gonna marry him. Oh, he's the one. Every 6 weeks, he's the one. Like, bro, he's the one that's gonna give you some dick, and he gonna take you to dinner, and y'all gonna eat 2 for $20, and shut the fuck up. Like, sometimes it be like that.
Nah, you really like McDonald's, bro. It's your second McDonald's reference today. You like McDonald's?
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't, like, you overthinking. Sometimes like, you be pushing, and I think people sometimes push too much. Like,
Well,
not
I'm just
everything.
telling you the nature of men. The nature of men is that we kind of are hunters, predators in a way, where
Yeah.
we want to dominate, right? We want to go get that. We want to I guess shoot it, and take it home and skin it. Right?
So you shouldn't take that away from them.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just telling you that that's the nature of men. I don't think that it's necessarily right that we do that. I'm just saying that that's the nature of men. And so when women show up already skinned and they hand you the fork like, eat me, it's like, it's a put off for men. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know how. I guess men start thinking, "Am I easy? Is she easy? Am I easy? Like, what is this?"
But men do that all the time.
Yeah, we do.
So how come when y'all do it all the time is okay, but if a woman does that to you, then you feel some type of way?
That is a whole deep dive into the male psyche. I don't know if I'm smart enough to answer that. I wish Dash was here to tell you, because
Like,
she's the woman with a big ass dick as well. But yeah, men are toxic in that way. That's the misogyny.
Yeah. So my next question that I have for you are men really intimidated by successful women, or is that a myth?
I think it depends on where that man is in his life.
Because I feel like part of that energy of a woman that I just discussed has a lot to do with her success and a man possibly being intimidated by her. And is like that really a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing, definitely.
For real?
It's definitely a thing. Because, like I said, and that goes into the misogyny. I hate when y'all make me talk smart.
Your brain hurt.
Yeah, I hate when y'all make me talk smart, because I love doing. It's so easy to be ignorant, right? But that doesn't profit anybody.
You could sprinkle a little on top.
Men, especially black men. I'm not even gonna say especially, but I'm a black man, so I can speak for us. It's ingrained in our brains and in society that women are not equal to us.
Right.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
That's the society that we live in. I get that.
That's the truth, right? And so now, when she's doing better than you, it's hurtful to your ego. It's almost like she can look down on me. A lot of men, especially black men, we're not taught value for ourselves in our homes. We go out in the street and we think that getting more money makes you more valuable, getting more cars, jewelry, Givenchy, you know what I'm saying? Those things that you put on top of yourself, those are the things. Now you have value, right? And so when a woman has that, if you don't have self-respect and have your own feeling of self-worth, it can be intimidating, especially because once a woman has that, she's not no sucker. She's not going for just anything. And then most times, are very intelligent. A
I'm
lot of
working on
men
it.
don't do the work on their brains. A lot of men don't. We're not able to have those kind of conversations
It's
with women.
crazy, Tahoe, because I've had men tell me I'm intimidating. I'm about 5 foot tall. Kid you not, 5'1" tops.
Mm-hmm.
On a good day, about 135 pounds. On a good day, I have 3 degrees. You know this. I have a
Mm,
master's degree in education. I have 2 degrees in media communication.
mm,
Um, so yeah, I feel like I have things because I like nice things. I don't tell people what I have. If you see me, you see me, but I have nice things.
nice.
And
That's
I think
beautiful.
people, but I don't do it to intimidate anybody else. I do it because those are the things that I want. I work for those things because those are the things I had to do, and those are accomplishments that I made. I don't do it because I wanted to intimidate someone else. So to me, when someone says to me, "Well, Karen, you're intimidating," I'm like, "How?" I don't wear a lot of jewelry. I'm not yakking off like that. Like what's intimidating? I don't understand from a male perspective what's intimidating about me. If anything, I'm like it's the opposite. Like I'm here on my kid. I'm about to go bake some chocolate chip cookies. Like what's good? You know?
Because, like I said, you put the work into yourself. You don't have to wear it out on your neck. You don't have to drive around in the work like that. You aren't a definition defined by what you have. A
Right.
lot of men, that is how we define ourselves. So when a woman is confident, intelligent, ambitious, successful, you are almost like you're better than me. You're almost better than what I could be. Like even with all of the stuff that I have, like you're
Right.
confident, you got all this stuff. I can't take it from you. I can't do better than you. And
Right.
it can be slightly off-putting. Especially because then now you seem like the type to tell a nigga, like, yo, you can't sleep here.
But you can.
You can't sleep here. Like, what? You kicking me out? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that walk to the car, can you imagine? That is a male walk of shame.
Yeah.
I was tired. I gotta walk to my car and drive home. A lot of men
No.
won't fuck with you after that.
All right, but like you can't sleep here.
It's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's a wow, like wow, you made me walk the walk of shame to the car and drive all the way home
Yeah.
and took my dick and ran. So yeah, that's a little bit with how yes, men can be intimidated by a successful woman. Absolutely,
I don't
absolutely.
know. I gotta probably work on that, but I
Yeah,
can't
it's not you. No, you don't have to work on that. Never in your life should you shut yourself up or make yourself small for the people in your company. If the people in your company try to make you feel small, get some bigger people. You know what I'm saying? That can equal your energy. Don't have no man tell you that you got to be a smaller version of yourself to suit him. Don't do that.
that happened to me before for a long time, and I kind of like suppressed my natural being, and then now I'm just like, well, I don't have anyone to do that for, so I just be myself, which is pretty dope. But still,
Yeah.
it's mind boggling to me how that could be. I guess I understand how it could be intimidating, but in my mind, I'm like, wouldn't a man want someone that has all of those attributes, that is getting up and going to work,
Absolutely. I
that's
would.
taking care of their child, that's, not, you can't sleep here because my kid is here, and his psyche is more important than yours, so you
Right.
got to go. So to me, those are things in women that if I was a man, I'd be looking for, like, yo, I know she's getting up and she's doing her thing, and all I gotta do is support her in that way, versus somebody who's gonna be like, can I get $40?
Absolutely. I think that it can be impressive. It is impressive, but you also have to be impressed with yourself in order to appreciate it.
I don't
And
know. Sometimes I think hoes be winning, and I'd be like, fuck it. Maybe I should just be a hoe. Cause
what are
sometimes,
they winning? What are
cause
they
sometimes
winning?
I feel like, yo, like I be at work all day, and then I gotta take Jason basketball and cut his hair, and I gotta cook, and then I gotta do whatever I gotta do in the evening, and then I be on Instagram, and I'm like, these hoes is on vacation. Like, don't y'all got jobs? Don't y'all got kids? Don't y'all got, and from my perspective as a woman that works really hard, I'm like, damn, like I'm working my ass off, and I can't do shit, or it feels like I can't do shit, and these people ain't doing shit, and I got the same pussy.
Well, I will let you know.
As a woman, it's a fucked up place to be in, because I'm sure there's other women that feel like that. Like, fuck, like,
Well, you don't. They do have kids. They're just not there with them. They
That's
do have kids. They just don't take their kids on vacation. They do have kids. They're just neglecting them.
but
Plus, on the other side of that is you can't trust what Instagram is showing you. You know how many
yeah,
people I've met from Instagram that aren't their pictures, that aren't their videos, that aren't their success story online, in person. Like that
yeah,
is, it's literally you put on your best face on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But that isn't necessarily a good representation of anybody on there. So you shouldn't be judging yourself by what other people are doing. You
yeah.
shouldn't.
I know, but I'm just like, damn. Some days I'm like, damn. I work like really hard and do all the right things, and it's just like I can't go to Dubai. I can't just pick up and you know what I mean. And then other days it's like, damn, I don't want to sell my soul to the devil either.
I mean, some people do, some people pay for them trips a year in advance.
Yeah, no,
They be, they be,
it's all
they
good.
be
It's all
putting
good.
trips on layaway,
Yeah. No, it's
You know what
all
I'm
good.
saying?
It's
So,
all good. We gonna be in Disney World every day. And me and Jace, it's good because I don't get to I did a trip last year and it was just me and my son and we went to Disney World and we stayed in Animal Kingdom with the animals and we did all that shit and I was just like, yo, if this is what he remembers, because he's gonna turn 18 and grow up just like everybody else, then that's what I'm gonna give and that's where I'm gonna put my energy because
see, that's the thing. A lot of people are putting their energy into today, and then you have other people that are putting their energy into tomorrow. And you can't live in both places. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So if you're only putting your energy in today and you're not thinking about how that affects your future and shit like that, because a lot of those Instagram models and the people that you're looking at, they're living for the moment, the fast life. That's another
right,
version of the fast life, right?
right,
Like when I was in the street, I was living the fast life. When I stopped living the fast life and I had to slow down and live the regular life, all of the people that I had run past when I was living the fast life had been doing so much work for tomorrow that
right.
they off. I can't even catch them no more because they done built so much a foundation for their tomorrow. Now I'm trying to catch up, and it's very hard when you
Yeah,
got years of preparation, right?
yeah,
They've been putting in this. They got their masters, like you said, they got their masters. They've been at a job, getting raised in the ranks throughout this job, getting promotion here, moving over there, making networks
yeah. Whole
throughout the
pension.
years, relationships. You can't just come and pop into all of that. That takes time. So they've been working on their future. So which one do you want to be is actually the question that you need to ask yourself. You want to work on today? Spend all the money in your bank account, get you a big ass chain and a fucking bust down rollie, and you start flashing your shit, and all of that shit will come today.
No, no,
Or you can
that's
take
not.
that same money and invest in your life, invest in your business, invest in your children, and watch your fruit bloom in the future.
That's what we're doing. We're laying the foundation. And
Sorry, I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
no, that's
Mhm.
okay. No, I'm laying the foundation. I'm taking care of my kids.
That's
I'm
right.
being a
That's
better
right.
person, and that'll just be that. I'll work on my big dick energy, and
Hey.
that'll just be that. Like I'm very okay with that. I'm very okay with that. I feel like I don't want to taint who I am or change who I am and sell my soul. And that's what I see a lot of times. I think sometimes women see something and my mom always used to, my mom's Jamaican, so my mom always used to have some kind of Jamaican saying about everything. And she used to always say like everything that glitters is not gold. And she's like, your eyes are gonna bleed if you follow what everybody else is doing. And if you
Mm,
just see things and you want them. And
that's
I
that
think a lot of
wisdom.
times women see things and they see a person and they look at all, they see the cars and they see the jewelry and they see the fame and they see all of those things and they want that, but they don't understand what comes with that, or they sell their
Ooh,
soul to have
talk
that.
about it. Say
And
it
so
loud. Say it loud.
though it's true. And then so a lot of people, I've had people say to me, Karen, like, you should be dating this kind of person, you should be dating that kind of person. And I'm just like, and I know people, like I know a lot of people, and I'm just like, it's not that, it's just that I'm not willing to compromise who I am just so I could have those things or stand next to that person. Like I'm not doing that. And so
Exactly.
I think that's a conversation like us as women, as a community of women, especially Black women, need to have, because we always lining up success with like, well, what kind of car he had. I just did an episode about this. Like it's called Sis, What Do You Bring to the Table?
Mm.
And in the episode, it was basically about women and that long laundry list of things that they want. And I was sitting there and I could pass judgment because I done gone back to school, got student loans, was a single mom, is divorced. And I was like, well, how are you asking for all these things, but you yourself can't bring any of those same things to the table?
That is a woman-on-woman conversation. I'm not going to get into that. One thing I've realized is, man, let me stay in the man's
But it's
business. I'm gonna
important
go change
because
the tire.
it's important because there's a lot of men in my life that I love dearly. I got mad boy cousins. I got brothers. I got a brother. I got a son. And I be judging. I be judging the people they date because I'm like, not that one. She don't
Yeah,
want you for that. You better
yeah.
drive my beat up Camry when you go on that date. Don't take the Benz. You know what I mean? Because they can't see through it, but I could see through it. I'm like, yo, she's just, she with you to level up. That's
Right.
why she with you. Don't,
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
don't,
It
you know?
happens all the time. It
Yeah, and
happens
it's
all
sad.
the time.
It's sad. We need to check ourselves. But I'm not gonna keep you because we've been kicking it for a while. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can catch me Tahoe _TV on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not on Snapchat anymore. But yeah, Instagram or Twitter, Tahoe _TV, or you can search me, listen to me twice a week on Tuesdays. We drop our episodes, So Shameless Podcast with Miss Daja Bell and DJ Trauma NYC. And on Thursdays, we drop Hard or Soft Podcast with me and Dear Orlando Roy. You can also go to our OnlyFans page where we do Hard or Soft is a very interactive podcast. We've had all types of sexual things going on in the background. One time we had a woman come and squirt for us while we were recording, and she did a challenge where she watered a plant. We had right. It was
I'm gonna do that.
hilarious. It was hilarious. We have BDSM exhibitions and things like that. Teaching men how to use vibrators on women. We have women come, Sexual Essentials. One of my homegirls came and showed us how to use a vibrator on a woman. The woman orgasmed 3 times in 20 minutes. And that's all on our OnlyFans. So you can go to our OnlyFans page and just type in Hard or Soft to find us on there to get the background, of what's going on over there. So it's life is working, man. We're doing good.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
for you.
Thank
I'm
you so much,
sending
man.
you. I'm a
And I
fan.
appreciate you inviting me on the show.
I'm sending you so much good energy because I
Oh,
just
I thought you sending so many dildos.
I am. I am. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. As soon as I stop recording, I'm gonna take your address and you could pick 2. I'm gonna show you what I got. But thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate your time and coming to chop it up with us. You guys go check him out. Hard or Soft Podcast, Shameless Podcast, the OnlyFans. I'll make sure I put his link on my webpage so you can check him out there. And thank you so much for making time and space and energy for us.
Of course, anytime.